Hey there. Okay, so for dinner tonight, I decided to make some spring rolls. That's what I call them. Summer rolls are the ones that I wrap in the rice paper and eat cold. Spring rolls are the ones that I bake. I cook my fillings, primarily cabbage and such, and then I bake those. And today I'm going to make them a little different. I'm going to put them in the air fryer. In fact, I might have so many that I'll make some in the air fryer and some in the oven, and we'll see which ones are the best. Okay, I'm going to start off with sauteing some onion, some orange pepper, and this is about 3 or 4 mushrooms that I just diced up. And we're going to put those in our pan. I should have preheated it, but I didn't. Just heat that up on high. And just put that right in there. And if these start to stick, you can add a little water to release them from sticking, but they probably will not because the mushrooms that are in there release a lot of water. So by the time they start to stick, they'll probably about tender anyway. So that's what we're going to start off with. I am going to grab a tablespoon of garlic. Because you know, garlic's good in everything, right? And as soon as those start to cook a little bit, you're going to want to add your cabbage, your shredded cabbage and carrots. Now a little shortcut that I use is I buy this classic coleslaw that already has it all shredded up real nice, and it's perfect for this dish. And I just dump that whole thing right in there. Just gonna add a little bit of water. And I'm gonna cover it. And we're just gonna let this simmer for about 10 minutes. Okay, so it has been 10 minutes, and I think it's done just the way I like it. Tender, not overdone. There will still be just a little crunch to the vegetables. So what I'm going to do is drain off the excess water and let it cool down just a bit so it's easier to handle. And after draining off the excess water, I like to put it back on the burner for just a couple of minutes to dissipate any extra moisture that might be in there. Now while this was cooking, I did add just a touch of salt and pepper, a little garlic powder, a little onion powder. Even though there's already real onion and real garlic in there, I find the garlic powder and onion powder just gives it a little different kind of flavor. So I think it's kind of important. And then I put just a pinch of the 5-spice Chinese seasoning. And if you don't like that seasoning, just leave that out. It's not a problem. I don't like a lot of it, but I do like just a little bit of it. And this is what it is. It's a Chinese 5-spice blend. If you can see that. And let's see, what are those 5 spices? The 5 spices that are in there, if you don't have it, is anise or anise, however you say that, cinnamon, cloves, star, and ginger. It gives it, if you just use a tiny little bit, it gives it just a really good flavor. When I first started using that spice, I overused it and it kind of ruined a dish I was making. But I have learned since then to just use a pinch of it. There, and now I am burning off that excess water. You can see the steam coming off. And now we can just turn that off and let that cool down so it'll be easier to handle while we're rolling up our egg rolls. These are the egg roll wraps that I am going to use. These are actually vegan wraps. These egg roll wraps are 60 calories each. So keep that in mind as you indulge in them. Total fat is 0. There's no fat in these at all. Cholesterol is 0. Total carbs is 12 grams. There is no fiber, so there is no net carbs. That is the total carbs, 12 grams each one. So if you are low carbing, keep that in mind. They're not low carb wraps, but delicious they are. Okay, so here's our wrap, and you're just going to take a scoop of your filling, put it right in there. And roll up like the bottom piece first, then the sides. Oh, it looks like this one gets a double wrap. I have 2 pieces here. It'll be extra crunchy. And roll that up just like that. Now, normally I would just use the parchment paper. This particular parchment paper that I used really stinks. I should look up the brand so I can warn you about it. I've used it many times now and everything sticks to it. So I find I do have to do a slight spray with a an oil-based spray. Again, you're going to fold it up, fold your corners in, and continue folding. And you always want to lay those seam side down. I got a little too generous there. And you may notice that when I lay my wrap out, I'm laying them like a triangle instead of square. You want to lay them like a triangle with the point down. It just makes a whole lot more sense to do it that way. A lot easier. These 3 are going to go in the air fryer. I'm going to say maybe 10 minutes because there's not much to them. And the rest of these are going to be spread out on my pan here. And I actually have a convection oven, so they will be cooked in a convection oven. It does cook a little bit faster than a regular oven, so keep that in mind. The bigger ones I like to put on the outside edges with the smaller ones in the middle. Okay, they're going in the oven. Okay, they're done. I'm going to do the taste test. The air fried ones, this one, they were done in about half the time. So if you have an air fryer and you're just making a few of these, I would recommend using that. Taste this one. So this one's almost cold. I've been waiting on the other one to get done. Really good. Very crunchy. This is the one just made in a regular oven, convection oven. Not quite as crunchy. They're both really good. I guess if you're in a hurry, go for the air fried one. But if you're not in a great big hurry, the oven fried's just as good. See you next time.